Skeleton Crew.
Ooh. I mean, a lot of things that we talked about last week that I was like, these are predictions and fear. Like, a lot of things have been proven right.
This show is so much fucking fun. It is a breath of fresh air.
It is a lot of fun.
We said we wanted Star Wars to try something different. I don't think either of us particularly had something like this in mind.
No.
But this is them taking that idea of you've got a good universe, tell different stories in it, and they have, I think, done a really good job with that so far.
And like this idea of a forgotten planet and finding how to write that into the lore of Star Wars and figure out is such a fun way of telling this story. But yeah, it's so much fun. And yeah, I mean, the reception that I've seen generally across social media is everyone's like, oh, this is a lot of fun. This is so much more like the Star Wars we want than like Acolyte, which obviously I still enjoy. We enjoyed Acolyte.
We enjoyed Acolyte, but if people are going to be more positive in their way they vocalize what they want, instead of going, oh, I don't want that shit, but going, this is what I'd like, I'm okay with that. And if the toxic part of the community comes out and goes, Skeleton Crew is exactly what we want, I can make peace with that because I enjoy Skeleton Crew.
My thing is like, I'm glad that it's getting this fun. Like everyone, the reception across the board is generally like, oh, this is a lot of fun. We are loving this. And it is a story outside of any of the story arcs and stuff that, yes, it's set in the Mando timeline, but it's set away.
Yeah.
And this is the first kind of show that's sort of, other than Mando, that is away from like the Skywalker stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. I loved the decision to make the astrology alien they went to see an owl.
The owl lady. Yeah,
I really enjoyed the decision to go, okay, owls are nocturnal, they're out at night, they enjoy the stars,
and just owls are classed as they're always used as intelligent animals and yeah.
I was like, that is a brilliant decision. Really, really enjoyed that.
It was so well done as well because like the tease you got was the hand, which obviously are like feathery, furry, like pointy fingers. And you're like, oh, what's this alien creature? Then the door. I love that the door for the astrology place had the little eye socket things, and that was quite clearly done practically, like they used to do it back in the original films.
And it also gave it a bit more Star Wars flavor for a story that isn't obviously Star Wars. That kind of stuff really makes your brain go, yeah, this is Star Wars.
Like across the board, the practical stuff is so nice to see. I'm pretty sure the owl was puppeted.
There was definitely a puppet used.
I would imagine it's similar to Grogu, where they puppet it a lot of it, but then also and have different ways of doing the puppeting, but then also a bit of it is CGI just to help. The droid, when he goes to get SM-33, Jude Law's character, I love that he's turning on the different drones, and there's a Roger droid, a battle droid, and as he turned it on, I was like, please say Roger, and then it's like, did we win the war? And then it collapses because it's just so old.
So good.
But that go on.
I really enjoyed the kind of like we were pretty confident at the end of episode 2 he wasn't actually a Jedi.
Yes.
Like we were like that we don't think he's a Jedi.
He never confirmed he was a Jedi, and I was like, he's either a Force user or Sith.
Yeah, but also within about 5 minutes of the beginning of this episode, he was being shifty and suspicious enough. I'm like, he sure as shit ain't a Jedi.
No.
At best, he was training as a youngling and then got kicked out of the order. So he's like, that's why he's got a little bit going on. Or it could be similar to what I said last week of he is Force sensitive. He doesn't have a Sith or Jedi alignment. It's just he kind of has worked bits and pieces out.
Yeah,
because he's not done anything crazy. He's moved a couple of things.
Yeah, we were kind of on that line of like either he's just learned to use the Force, or maybe I was like, maybe there's a reveal that he has like a red lightsaber. But
Crimson Jack.
I mean, yeah, when his name of Crimson Jack, I was like, ooh, red. But then again, that could still lean like what I was saying last week was he could have just kind of come across a lightsaber if he has one that he's not shown yet, and it just happens to be a red one. It doesn't necessarily mean it was ever his. I do think it's sort of like he had a bit of Force sensitivity, probably was during the period where maybe the Empire, so like he didn't want to.
Yeah, the character doesn't seem old enough to have been like super old before the Empire.
No,
like at most he was a child when the Empire rose to power.
Yeah, and maybe like in that period where it's like, oh, Jedi are being hunted, so then he hides it, has ended up in piracy. So he obviously just kind of probably used it to do like learn to Force pull certain things, helped him like pull off stuff, got into piracy, got away with things that probably wouldn't normally. But yeah, I love that the kids called him out so fast when they were leaving the moon planet, and then they're like, they realize you're not a Jedi, and he's like, well, I never said that I was a Jedi. Which I love, because that's exactly what we'd said.
I really enjoy that they're not just going, the kids are idiots. The kids are the protagonists. Yes, they're kids, so they're going to make childlike mistakes, but they also are very strong-willed characters.
I'm
enjoying the way they're writing the characters a lot. I'm enjoying the mystery of the story. Why was that planet hidden? What was so rare about it? I like that the kids are starting to piece this together as well. I was like, okay, we know there's no like mountain of gold on our planet.
Yeah,
but everyone keeps talking about this treasure. So what do we know about our home?
Well, I also I love the bit when the kids are talking about what are our parents doing? And it's like, well, my parents are an analyst, mine too. Mine works in admin. Yeah, but for what? Like, none of them actually know what their parents do for work. And it's like the idea that they probably get to a certain age, get that job, and they're just kind of plugged into a system. And I bet the adults don't even really know what they are.
No, they don't understand what they're doing. They're just doing what, because you've got to remember as well, this is an old Republic settlement.
So this is the thing.
It's been like 30 years since the old Republic fucking existed, let alone how long it was hidden. What, the Clone Wars went on for like 15 years before that.
Well, yeah.
Ish. So the planet's probably been hidden for at least 45 years. That's when most of their parents would have been born, at best.
Well, that's like we were saying last week, and people picked up on the fact that the badass girl, her mum, was like, oh, the Republic. Didn't say the New Republic, didn't speak, and their credits are like old Republic credits. People were kind of piecing together, this is a weird planet that's like, maybe it's trapped. And it seemed like, now we've had a bit more information. There was 6 planets, was it? That were...
something like that.
All hidden, all but one were destroyed. One was never found. This idea that the old Republic, probably the Jedi on the council together, this planet was hidden. Protocol put in place to help the planet themselves keep it hidden. The Jedi were destroyed. The Empire took over. We all know in the real world how governments lose paperwork, stuff gets like deeds to like random bits of land are lost and no one knows who owns what. Like, stuff can get forgotten very easily.
Well, it was
the idea of a planet getting lost and forgotten is actually quite reasonable.
Lost a planet, Master Kenobi has. Like, it's like when they go to the owl lady and she's like, okay, tell me a little bit about your planet. So she can, and she's like, we've narrowed it down to 10,000. Like, yeah, there's a fuck ton of planets, and there has been 2 massive, brutal governmental takeovers.
Yeah,
since when they were this planet was hidden.
I loved it when the kids were like, do you know of any other planets? And like, oh, we know Coruscant and Alderaan, and like, God, you've missed a war or 2. And it's like, at that moment, you're like, this planet has been like time capsuled.
They must have been hidden since before the separatists rose to power, because they weren't even aware. Like, if the response to that was being, we know about the Clone Wars, then but they must have been hidden since before the Clone Wars even started.
Well, yeah, there's probably old. So this takes me back to, we get a bit of a clip on the planet where all the parents are sat round worrying about their kids, and this service droid comes in and goes, yeah, they ended up on a starship and they've left the barrier. And the dad knows this. Like, but all the other parents are like, what? And then like, oh, they left the barrier, that is against protocol. We aren't allowed to contact them, and we won't chase them. Which, the way this robot talked, where the supervisor says that is against protocol to contact outside the barrier. I said last week, I wonder if it's like old droids that are in charge that are stuck in a program loop of like, they haven't been updated, like they're just in their protocol programming because that's all they know. I think it could be a case of very old droids are still running this planet, and they're just stuck in this, and we're gonna go and we're gonna see like old battle droids and old, like, you know, the chunkier ones that were the ones in charge, like
super battle droids and tech droids and stuff,
they're just stuck in this like admin loop of like, this is how the planet is run, this is how we were programmed to run this planet.
I'm really curious to know if it is just a droid at the top, or if it's a person that just knows what's happened, but knows the planet is safe as it is, knows that the people, and it's like, if they don't know anything's wrong, these people will be safe and alive, and that's the best I can do.
Yeah, it's like someone old at the top who's like, we've never had recontact, even though that we were supposed to have it every so many 100 years or something. And it's like, there's been no recontact, and we were told to continue as, like, we are just continuing with orders till we have contact. It's a bit like in Fallout with like vaults where they're like, nope, we are to stay down here till we're told that it's safe to go outside, but not knowing that the systems are rigged to make them stay down there because it's all an experiment.
The only difference seems to be between Fallout and this kind of planet in Star Wars is in Fallout, the vaults were designed to be these horrible places to do experiments.
Well, some were just, we keep it locked for longer.
Yeah, they were control ones.
Yeah, everything was like basically a big experiment.
Whereas this planet was hidden for a governmental security reason or whatever, and then the entire bureaucracy fell in a horrible war, so they've just crapped on. Yeah, I'm really curious to know what they're doing though that made the Republic hide them. It's got to be something to do with like the banking system or something.
So this is where I'm now trying to theorize what, like, obviously the pirates of the rumor and the tale is that this is a treasure planet that is full of treasure. There was these other planets that were all hidden away because they were valuable. For a planet to be valuable, it's resources for the most part. So either the kid's story of if you're bad, you're sent down to the mines is actually real, and there's like some mining level that is like,
what if it's a Kyber planet?
That would be wild. Or the other thing is it's the whatever material is used for the credits, and it's essentially like a bank / mint for the Empire, not the Empire, for the Republic. And imagine it is essentially like the Republic's bank vault, and all those that's why there's so many credits and stuff, and that's why the pirates think it's a treasure planet, because that's just where all the money's printed and the money's made. And imagine it's being locked off, but they've kept working. Imagine they've just like, well, we've got stockpiles of all this money that we were told to keep producing because they're going to need it.
See, this is the thing that confused me. The planet can't be an exporter of anything because you can't hide a planet that exports stuff.
Exactly.
And also they'd realised they weren't exporting stuff anymore. I wonder if the planet's like a giant supercomputer.
Possibly. And
that's why they're all analysts and admin. Or I'm really curious.
It's that, or it's some sort of a mind that they're just like stock. They were told to mine resources or produce something and stockpile it.
What I would love to kind of be one of the resolutions at the end is Jude Law gets to the planet, finds out there's no actual treasure, and like the message is the treasure is the found family you made along the way. You've become a better person. These kids have made you a better person. You're going to live on the planet with them now as like the person who can do bad things to protect the planet if need be. And that's the treasure. You got a family that will care about you.
It could.
It seems like the kind of show that would have that message.
It's that, or it's like he gets there, and like you say, some sort of supercomputer, and the knowledge that that planet has is the valuable resource. But obviously, to a pirate, that's worthless.
Yeah.
Or it's like they're just crunching numbers for no reason. It's so intriguing to know what would a planet still be doing, like, because it's clearly flourishing as a planet, like society-wise.
What can they still be doing that they think they're doing for the Republic that they've never transmitted, otherwise someone would have found out where they are, and they haven't realised that no one's checked up on them?
Here's the other thing. Is stuff being transmitted, but obviously everyone on the planet is told they're not allowed to come, but the supervisor, like, that everyone on the planet is told, we don't contact outside the barrier, we don't leave the barrier, but actually the ones at the top have got contacts outside. Or like, you know, like in Fallout when the overseers know that it's safe outside, but they actually keep everybody in. Like, they're like thinking they're doing it for the safety of everyone.
Interesting.
Like, there could be some, like, maybe separatists have infiltrated it, and it was like, there's just there's something sus about the way that the service droid talks about the supervisor. I'm like, whoever's in charge of this planet is either a droid that's stuck in a loop, or it's somebody that isn't doing this for the Republic anymore, but is telling everyone they are still part of the Republic.
How involved was Dave Filoni and Skeleton Crew?
I would imagine pretty involved, because he is the creative for Star Wars now.
IMDb. Does he
That's
have? John Watson, Christopher Ford are the creators, so he's just like an executive on this. It's not his baby.
Yeah, he's just an executive producer.
Okay. So if he was involved in it, my suggestion was going to be, what if the Imperials did know about this planet, but instead of fucking with it,
they just let it keep doing its thing,
and they got them to start doing calculations for cloning procedure and stuff.
Possibly.
Treat the planet as a supercomputer to work out the difficult equations for how to deal with Project Necromancer.
Yeah, possibly. It's
I just have no idea what this planet's being used for, and I feel like I'm going to be underwhelmed by it.
I don't know.
If I'm not underwhelmed by it, it's going to be like the coolest reveal ever.
I'm also intrigued to know if they knew about the ship that was in the ground, that was clearly a pirate ship that found the planet, but crashed. Everyone was killed. Like, so, well, one of them was stabbed with a sword. So someone presumably survived on that ship.
Yeah.
What if that person is currently running the planet secretly and keeping it all for themselves? Like, someone found this hidden planet but never left it.
Ooh,
which is why none of the other pirates know about it.
But oh my god, what if one of the kids' parents is the pirate or grandparent?
Yeah, it's like descendant of it. Like, you've also got to think that ship is a pirate ship. The droid is like, he is a pirate droid. So that was a pirate ship that found the treasure planet but never left the treasure planet.
Yeah.
Why?
The treasure is the family you find along the way.
Oh, there's that. Can we briefly, should we talk about Neil's adorable snore when they're all asleep?
I am in love with Neil. if anything bad happens to Neil, John Watts will have to fight me personally.
I think he'll have to fight the entire Star Wars community.
Yeah. Neil's great. He's a voice of reason. He gets everyone to try and get along so they can actually come up with a solution. And he's just so adorable.
I love that Crimson Jack, when they're trying to escape the moon, was like, Neil, you're flying. And
everyone's just like, why?
Well, the other lad's like, wait, I want to fly the ship. This isn't fair. Why, Neil? And he's like, come with me. Doesn't say anything to the tech girl because she understands the assignment. She knows what she needs to do.
She gets the hyperdrive going.
Oh, she's the intelligent one. She'll know what to do.
She's already clocked like I'm a piece of shit. It's fine.
Yeah. He takes the other two, and as soon as the other lad realizes, oh, I'm being put in a gun pod, he's like, I don't want to argue about flying the ship anymore. This is a cooler job.
Them arguing about who hit the X-Wing was fucking hilarious. The writing for the children characters has been really, really good.
They're nailing this show. I like that we got a bit of insight into Crimson Jack, why he was in prison. Like, he's in prison. He was about to go on trial for some whatever.
Yeah.
Finally.
So he was clearly the captain that got mutinied in the beginning of episode 1, and he was about to go on trial for being a shit captain or whatever, or maybe it was some trumped up charges so the new captain could just fucking kill him off or whatever. But it's really interesting to see that this has just all happened at the perfect time for him to get out with his own life.
Yeah. That idea as well, the kid's like, wait, if you could get out, why have you not left already? He's like, and do what? I have no ship. But you have a ship.
Yeah, that was really like, if you're a Jedi, why are you still here? He's like, I don't have a ship. Which shows that he's not dumb. I'm really curious about, like, obviously his motivation or he wants to get this treasure. I assume to buy back his crew's affection.
Well, like he kept promising them clearly, oh, this is the one.
Yeah.
And now, like, this could actually be the one, and then he'll be able to go back and like, look, told you I'd find the one to get us all rich, and pirates just follow who's the richest and who can make them the most money.
Absolutely. Really, really curious. I know we weren't sure about Hondo reveal. I would love for it to turn out that Crimson Jack was like Hondo's apprentice, which would explain why he's quite nice to kids. Because Hondo, despite being a pirate, wasn't like a bloodthirsty dude. He was pretty chill. I like the idea of Jack being like potentially a little bit softer because he was under Hondo, and Hondo's whole thing was like, we try and not hurt people where possible, and kids are kids, don't fuck them over.
Or like Hondo saved him from wherever he was when he was a young Forces and got him.
Exactly. I think that would be like quite a cool way to kind of go, this is Hondo's lineage.
Through crew,
I think that'd be a cool reveal. Then like the reason he wants this big haul is to go back to Hondo and go, look, I pulled it off. I'm finally good.
Even if it's just kind of a case of like, he doesn't necessarily name drop Hondo, but he talks about this captain he was under, and we're all like, oh, he's talking about Hondo.
Yes. Yeah. Even something like that would be really cool. Be a really, really cool way to
I also
reveal.
Found it really funny that like the kids are like, he knows it's a Jedi. He was like, oh, he's a Jedi and he knows all about Jedi and all this. But because of how long their planet's been locked off, he didn't know X-Wing equals good guy.
Yeah.
So he's just like, oh, it's good. It's the her goons. And it's like, no, they're the people that are actually trying to save you.
X-Wing is famously the good guy ship. Can we lock in, please?
I definitely thought one of them was going to be that same pilot that we always get.
Yes, I was especially when they showed like the top of the thing open. I was like, okay, so this is either going to be the pilot we've seen a bunch of, or Zeb, because we saw him at the bar in.
I don't know if Zeb would be an X-Wing pilot though.
He was wearing a pilot jumpsuit in the live action time we saw him.
Yeah, but he might be on a bigger ship.
Yeah. But like, I was expecting it to be one of them two as like don't forget.
Yeah, true.
One big universe.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the next episode, and I desperately want to know what this planet is.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's compelling. New, unique characters that are all giving very good performances. What's not to love?
Yeah, for sure.